There we go. Hey YouTube, Christoph here. Um, yeah, so as you can probably tell by the title, we're going to be talking about visceral games. But before we get into that and the old nitty gritty of Cattail, um, yeah, whole nitty gritty of EA just basically ruining everything. Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon are out tomorrow, so loving that. Get to play with some of the older style of Pokemon. And that's pretty much all I've got to say on that. But now back to the actual thing at hand. Visceral Games closing. Closed approximately 3 weeks ago, roughly, possibly a bit longer. And they basically just shut the studios. Now, there's a podcast out there somewhere on the internet. I can't remember where I saw it. Basically, one of the employees of EA were coming out and saying, well, actually, you guys are a bunch of greedy arseholes, you know. Sorry for the profanity, but basically you're being damn right greedy. And yeah, basically they wanted to put microtransactions in it again, which is absolutely crazy. They did it with the third one, didn't work so well. So now I've had a look at on the internet, had a look at sales figures. The first Dead Space game sold 2 million copies. It's 2 million copies. So straight away, not exactly stellar success for the first one. Second one sold approximately, I think it was about 3.5 million, and the fourth one sold around about 4 million. So originally, when I was going to go into this video, before I did the research, I was going to be like, well, actually, if they never put microtransactions in it, it wouldn't have been an issue. But I think that was possibly part of the problem, because you take a look at the games that are very similar, like Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, they sold around about 6-7 million. And people love them games. You know, unfortunately, Dead Space was headed for a more action-orientated, not so much horror, but they could still revive this series. And basically, EA have shot themselves in the foot now, because what with Battlefront 2 basically being left on the pan now, having less than, you know, stellar release stuff. You know, I work with people who were pre-ordered the game and they were just like, actually, I'm going to cancel this pre-order, because they saw what they were doing with the whole the online aspect of it, which was pay to win basically. And what they did with the first Battlefront, from what I can understand, is you'd get these materials, rare star cards, hero cards, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, in the second one, they've made it so it's harder for you to get it, so you have to spend more money. And it's kind of like, what? What are you playing at, EA? You know? And yeah, it gives me great pleasure to just say that it's absolute crap. A lot of people have cancelling their pre-orders, and they've really shot themselves in the foot with that one. But onto Dead Space. I mean, they put basically microtransactions in it, which I think it was Zero Punctuation originally did a whole review on it, and he used the phrase, "Here's a bucket, put some money in it if you want." See, it's more or less that, because you don't need these. You can grind out ration seals to purchase your stuff from the store to get the best weapons and best upgrades or best parts in the game. And yeah, basically they do this with a lot of their games now. It's becoming a very microtransaction database from EA games. You take a look at stuff like NHL, NFL, you know, basically mainly sport games. FIFA, you know, I'm guilty for using some of the microtransactions on that, and spending a lot more than I really should. And basically, it's the only way you can get the best cards, by spending loads of money. And I think they need to come out of this way of thinking if they're gonna basically continue to be successful. It's worked to a certain point. I mean, by all means, maybe keep it in the sport games. You know, the biggest selling titles. I mean, FIFA 18 at the moment, I think sold something ridiculous, like well over 10 million units already, and it probably sells in the region of about 20 million a year, like in a year before the new one's released. So yeah, that's a bit crazy. But yeah, microtransactions with a survival horror game. Yeah, do not put microtransactions in it. It's just retarded. Like, I can maybe understand, I don't know, something like releasing DLC to help you get more resources. I mean, they did that with the third one, which was a really good idea. Half your resource time, get more resources, and they were charging about £3-4 a pop for it. So that's what, about $5 roughly if you're American. Euros about the same, about €4.50. And it's just crazy. Like, they could just keep on releasing stuff like that. Like, release loads of packs instead of putting microtransactions in. By the time you've bought this 60, it's $60, £60 game, you're looking at potentially £100 per unit. By the time you finish with all your DLC. If you sell a season pass separately, you sell £30 for your season pass. Keep your online. I mean, Dead Space 2 online was amazing. Like, and it's a shame that they've gone down the route of cocking things up for themselves, really. So I really enjoyed the Dead Space 2 online, and yeah, many fun times where I finished a night shift and started playing that. And I'm not really an online gamer, so yeah, I absolutely hate playing online. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say on the matter. EA, you shot yourselves in the foot. I've said it about 4 times in this video now. And yeah, keep shooting yourselves in the foot because it really works. And thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in the next video where it'll be a more sort of, better one, kind of. So yeah, here's my thoughts on Visceral Games closing. And let me know in the comment section if it appeals to you. If there was some things in it you think that are absolutely correct. And yeah, pretty much that's about it. I mean, are you gutted that Dead Space is going to be no more? Do you wish that another studio will take over it? Someone like Bethesda would be a good candidate for it. I think maybe they should sell the franchise personally and put it over to Bethesda. I mean, they've done really well with Evil Within. Shinji Mikami, Japanese. It's Japanese, anime effectively, so he could completely rebuild it altogether. I think he'll be a really good candidate to do it. And we'll have to go from there. In fact, I don't know who the creator actually was. It might have even been Shinji Mikami, I don't think it was. But yeah, it's just sad business. And yeah, thanks for tuning in anyway, guys. That's the end of the video. And like, subscribe if you disagree or agree with most of the things I kind of covered in this video. Let me know in the comment section. Bye for now. Happy games.